How do you recap one of the wildest games of the season that started with the ace getting shelled and ended with an amazing 3-run walk-off homer by Christian Vazquez? I'm Adam Blue reporting for CLNS, and I'm going to try my hardest to summarize the madness at Fenway Park tonight. Chris Sale gave up 7 runs, Eduardo Nunez ripped a 3-run double late off of Andrew Miller, and both Addison Reed and Craig Kimbrell allowed homers to blow a lead. And all that happened before the dramatic finish. Kimbrell entered with a 1-run lead in the 9th, and promptly allowed a solo homer to Francisco Lindor to tie the game at 9-all. 2 singles and a walk loaded the bases in the 9th, and the Indians took the lead on a wild pitch which seemed to take all the air out of the fans and the Sox in the back-and-forth melee. Cody Allen, Cleveland's closer, entered for his own chance at a save, but gave up an infield single to Rafael Devers with 1 down. Mitch Moreland reached on a wild pitch after a check swing strikeout, and both runners scored on the walk-off blast to straightaway center field by Vazquez for the 12-10 victory that vaulted the Red Sox back into first place in the AL East. Almost 4 hours earlier, it looked like a great pitching matchup between Sale and Carlos Carrasco, but both were knocked around early and often. The Red Sox ace gave up a season-high 7 runs, including a 2-run homer from Brandon Guyer in the 2nd and a 2-run blast from Edwin Encarnacion in the 5th. Sale entered the contest without allowing a run in his last 3 starts, but the Tribe are the only team with a winning record against the lefty in his career. A 3-run first, highlighted by an RBI single from Michael Brantley and a 2-run double from Carlos Santana, gave the Indians a quick 3-0 lead. The homer from Guyer made it 5-0, but the Sox quickly pounced on Carrasco for a 5 spot in the bottom of the 2nd to tie the game up at 5-all. Mitchie Two-Bags Mitch Moreland, who has become Mitchie No-Bags recently, touched them all on a 3-run homer to right field that scored Devers and Xander Bogaerts to cut the deficit to 2. After a double from Vazquez and a walk to Mookie Betts, Brock Holt reached on an infield single to bring home Vazquez, and Eduardo Nunez belted his first double of the game to center field that scored Betts and got Holt thrown out at home. The teams remained scoreless until Encarnacion's homer in the 5th, which looked to be countered by a shot by Hanley Ramirez in the bottom of the frame. Oh, I failed to mention there was possibly the best catch of the year in this crazy game too, didn't I? Ramirez's blast was caught by center fielder Austin Jackson, who jumped over the wall and landed in the Red Sox bullpen. It was reminiscent of the Torrey Hunter fall into the bullpen in 2012, but Jackson actually caught the ball, and there were no cops celebrating. At least not yet. The 6th inning was huge for both teams, as the Indians wasted a great chance to bust the game open prior to the 4-run outburst that gave the Sox the lead. A double, a walk, and an infield single on what should have been a sac bunt loaded the bases with no outs for the top of the order for the Tribe. Reliever Blaine Boyer retired Lindor on a flyout to short left, and got Guyer to bounce into a routine 6-4-3 double play to keep the score at 7-5. With 1 down in the bottom of the frame, Moreland regained his Mitchie Two-Bag status with a double to left field. Vazquez moved him over to third base on a single up the gut, and Betts drove in Moreland with a slow roller to third which he beat out. Miller came in to relieve Brian Shaw, and promptly hit pinch hitter Chris Young to load the bases for Nunez, who doubled to clear the bases and gave the Sox what looked like an insurmountable lead. But the Indians weren't done yet, as Santana struck a leadoff homer to right field in Reed's debut with the Sox in the 8th, and Kimbrell blew his 4th save of the year in the 9th. But Vazquez saved the night for Boston, as he went 3 for 5 with 3 runs scored in his 4th consecutive multi-hit contest. The win, combined with a loss by the Yankees, moved the Sox a half game ahead of the Evil Empire in the AL East race. The Red Sox will look to sweep the Tribe on Wednesday night, as Rick Porcello will face Trevor Bauer at 7:08 p.m. The energetic duo of Alex Barth and Nick Quaglia will have you covered with the pregame news and notes and postgame recap of what will likely be a much less dramatic contest. And be sure to check out our latest roundtable discussion on the trade deadline moves which launched during this madness. This has been Adam Blue for CLNS.